All right, sorry about that. We had some technical difficulties, but that's okay because we needed to take a break. If you see us changing clothes throughout this recording, it's because we've been doing it over the entire weekend. So I think we left off with Invasion of Belenon. As you can see, Nate ranked it a B, I ranked it a C. Talking about the battle mechanic, Nate, could you talk about the battle mechanic and then this card?
Yeah, so the idea behind the battle mechanic comes down to you have a front side that gives you an ETB, and kind of like a planeswalker, it has an amount of toughness that you have to deal damage to it equal to whatever that number is. In this case, Invasion of Belenon has 5 health, and once you deal 5 damage to it, it can be protected by your opponent, but once 5 damage is dealt to it, or however many toughness it has, it flips over. This case, Invasion of Belenon gives you a 2/2 on ETB, and then flips to be an Anthem once you deal 5 damage to it.
And I remember when we were talking about this card, we noted that the format does seem to be like a little slower in general, so it seems like there's like a better chance that this kind of thing will stick around throughout the game, and it won't just be like you play this and then you die, or you play this and then you never hit it. It seems like it might be worth it, and an Anthem in like a longer, more drawn out like creature vanilla fighting game is gonna be pretty good. I think I wanted to go with C just because it seemed like a 3 mana for a 2/2 with vigilance is not that great, and the Anthem is nice, but you still have to work for it, and it's not great if you top deck it in the late game. It's pretty good if you top deck it. It's like all pretty good in the top deck in the mid game, especially if you're already like ahead on board, so it's like a win more card in that sense. And if you top deck it in the early game, that's really I think when you want to be playing it. And I think then it's just fine. So I settled on C. I think Nate settled on a B.
Yeah, low B tier, I could see it going a little bit up or down into C tier. I think it'll be solid in the early to mid game, not the greatest in the late game, but even still, if you have access to evasive creatures that can give you an Anthem, it can crack open a stalled board state.
And that much is, I'll definitely say, true. And that also adds relevance to, like, say, flyers, for example, where usually you're not really that happy if you're just pinging your opponent for, like, 1 or 2 every turn with a flyer and limited, which is common. But if you're pinging if you have a stalled board state except, like, a flyer and you're just pinging away at this thing, like, and you unlock an Anthem, like, suddenly, like you said, it cracks open. So I could see it actually going up for that reason. But I think I will stick for C now. So that moves us on to the next one, the Invasion of Dominaria. It is a battle, and when Invasion are ATBs, you gain 4 life and draw a card. I think that is significantly worse.
I'll say it now, the backside better be very good, otherwise it's going straight into good art tier.
That's interesting. Oh, interesting. So wait, how did I do that? Oh. Okay, good.
That only give you one side.
So we'll flip it over.
Okay.
And on the backside, you do get something.
It is pretty good.
You do get a Serra Angel for a 4 mana, a 4/4. So it's just a 4/4 flying vigilance. And notably, like I just mentioned, if you have other battles out, suddenly you really want to get this out. So now we're seeing like, okay.
And notably, because the thing will, I'm not sure if when the thing flips, if it'll have summoning sickness or
not. I assume. Let's see.
When it's defeated, exile it, then cast a transform.
Yep. So you exile, so it'll have summoning sickness, but still, you're getting a 4 flying 4/4 vigilance.
Mm-hmm.
So for 1 card that costs you 3 mana, you're drawing another card, so it's replacing itself. You're gaining 4 life, which is okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
And when it eventually flips, if you can flip it, you get a 4/4.
Very good creature.
Okay, I'm starting to see now like more of an idea of what like can happen. This is uncommon?
Yeah, it's an uncommon.
Okay, I see. So then
I still think the front side value is really weak.
Yeah.
That's gonna pull it down a lot. But the backside definitely, I think it keeps it out of good art tier.
See, I don't know. This does a lot for 1 card, and whenever you're like, I would almost rather top deck this in the late game than the last card.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow, what a weird card. It just depends on if you can flip it or not.
Yeah.
Because, like, Yeah, that's interesting. It's gonna be. It seems like this is gonna very much be in like a white deck, or this is like maybe the format. I keep saying this. This is like the format where blue comes back.
Yep.
And you have like evasion being a useful mechanic, and you get rewarded for building evasion into your deck to pop these out.
Yeah.
So I'm actually gonna give this like one a C for me. I feel like it could be good.
I'm gonna say strong D tier. Honestly,
Interesting.
I think the
Okay.
front side is just a little too weak for it to be solid. I could see it coming up if the format's like full of evasive creatures, but having not seen a ton of evasion mechanics yet, at a base level, like, I think it's really weak.
Wow. So you think this is this other one is 2 tiers better than this one, and it's just because this one gives you a 2/2 and this one is only just a card
It
draw
does
for
nothing.
life.
Yes.
Wow. I mean, yeah. Okay. Fair enough. I mean, that's very reasonable. I'm right down the middle. You're more decisive. I like that. So we're just gonna see what
That's
happens.
a rare. We'll come back to that.
And yeah. And so okay. Next one. What is that? You can pronounce that.
Kithkin Billy Rider.
Okay. Thank goodness you pronounced that. Not me. You can read that. I have to do the typing.
It's a 2 and a white creature, Kithkin Knight. It's a 1/3 double strike.
Okay. 1/3 mana 1/3 double strike. Have we seen what was that card like in Brothers War that was sort of like the double striking, except it was a 1/1 and it drew you a card though?
Oh, I forget.
It was an uncommon.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I forget the name.
I hate double strike cards like this that are like higher health than they are attack because it like completely wastes the double strike. In a
Well,
sense.
double strike is such a powerful keyword. It's one of the most powerful keywords in the game that I don't like it, but I do see its uses in a 1/1 counter focused format like this one seems to
Sure,
be.
but
Like
how
you
many
put a 1/1 counter on this, and all of a sudden, it's a 2/4 double strike,
Which I still
Which
don't
is-
love because that was a really
which is effectively a 4/4.
which I don't want.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not happy with this card until I put 2 counters on it.
Me too, and that's why I don't think it's very good.
I'm deciding between D and G for me.
So am I.
I'm gonna put this in D
I'm gonna put this right at the bottom of D tier.
because like this card to me I get the same feelings when I look at this card as when I look at that 2/2 Vigilance from the last set,
Mhm.
and for that reason that is just a D for me.
Yeah.
How about you?
D tier. Bottom
Okay,
of D.
good talk. Next card,
That's a
Knight
rare.
that's a rare. Oopsies. Gotta get that one right out of here.
Next
Okay.
one, Knight of the New Coalition, 4 mana. Creature, human knight, 2/2 vigilance. When it enters the battlefield, create a 2/2 white and blue knight creature token with vigilance. 4 mana for 2/2 vig.
When a knight
And it's a human and it's a knight. I think this is actually pretty solid.
I think this is solid. This is like bread and butter.
Yeah.
It's a knight. It creates
It's a
another
knight,
knight.
it's a human, they both have vigilance. I like this.
It's a 4/4 for 4.
Yeah.
Split over with good
Split
keywords.
over 2 bodies with keywords C tier, easy.
Fine.
Yep.
And I could see like if this is like one of the strongest decks in the format, you could maybe almost push this into B.
Yep.
But for now, I don't think so. I'm just gonna give it C for what it is.
Yep.
Core Halberd. Core Halberd is an artifact. It does not have Form Mirrodin, unfortunately. Equip creature 1 mana. Equip creature gets 1/1 and Vig.
+1/+1
Just
and
one
vigilance
to
and 1
equip.
to equip.
Okay, so the idea of this is you play it like whenever you have some free mana, and then you just move it around and give your biggest creature vigilance, and you can just like get in.
I think it's fine. It's not gonna crack open major board states, but giving your biggest creature vigilance is relevant.
Yeah, especially like if you're like kind of just trying to like push it through for like battles, for example.
Yeah. It's cheap enough. Also, 1 mana to equip, 1 mana to cast. Like,
Yeah, you're not like falling behind too badly on this. You're not
yeah,
feeling bad like if you're playing Infested Flesh Cutter, which is twice as much mana to get
which is
rolling.
yeah.
The problem with this card for me is that these effects tend to be pretty weak.
Yep.
Like we see this effect a lot, and we've even seen better versions of this effect, and it just never seems to just, even though it's efficient for what it does,
I agree. I still don't think this effect is very strong.
it just seems like a very low value card to me, and for that reason, I'm gonna have to put it in D tier.
Yeah. D tier is where I'm putting this too.
Cool.
We'll get to Monastery Mentor later. That's a reprint and a card I love.
And also, I think me and Nate kind of agreed that what we're going to do is we're just going to rate the cards more based on their individual card quality. And then we will revisit, once we've seen all the cards for a particular color, we'll kind of revisit the archetype. And then once we've seen all the cards, obviously we'll revisit just in general what we think will be stronger and weaker based on everything that's going on. But for now, we're just looking at, is this card... Good decks have good cards. Is this card a good card or not? Yep. Okay. Norn's Inquisitor is a Phyrexian 1/1 for 2 mana. Now off to a good start. When it enters the battlefield, incubate 2. So that means you could pay 2 to get another 2/2. And whenever a permanent you control transforms to a Phyrexian, put a 1/1 counter on it. So it being the Phyrexian that transforms.
It being, the incubated creature.
Oh, okay. So this is a 2-drop. A 1/1, and when you pop the incubation, if this thing is still on the board,
it gets an extra.
It's a 3/3.
Yep.
So really, what this is a 4 mana 4/4 with upside.
Minor upside.
Ooh. And if you can pop one more thing, it becomes a 7 mana 5/5.
I think this card will be very solid in the one specific deck that it's good in. Otherwise, this card will be terrible.
Okay, so let's just be more realistic. It's a 2 mana 1/1 that provides a little bit of value.
Mm-hmm.
Is it D tier or is it C tier? I genuinely can't decide, because usually these uncommons are a little more powerful, but this just seems a little weak to me. But
I'm putting it in high D tier because I think this is what I would consider to be a situationally very good card. Situationally in the right deck, it's very solid. In every other situation, it's lackluster at best. And so I'm rating it such that most of the time it's going to be lackluster at best. I'm putting this in high D tier.
I'm getting concerned. I haven't rated any cards B yet, and that might just be because I'm used to other type of Magic the Gathering from Phyrexian V1, but I don't know. I haven't seen that card that's like, now this is a Magic the Gathering card yet. Okay, guess we'll give it a C.
Okay.
Well, no, I think, I don't know, just something's telling me whenever you're making two mana for me, a 4 mana 4/4 is like, with upside, is just, especially because you can play it for 2.
Mm-hmm.
How many incubate things have we seen in
not many
in white so far? Have we seen, like, I feel like we've only seen maybe one other.
Yeah. That's why I'm concerned.
What was this one?
When it dies, incubate 3, but that's at 5.
Okay, so let's just say we have the dream, right? Okay,
Yeah.
I'm lost here. Where are we?
We're there.
Let's just say we had the dream.
Mm-hmm.
We have a deck with every card that incubates.
Yeah.
That's the dream.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a bunch of understated creatures, and they're all getting, you're paying 2, and you're getting, every time you pay 2, you get an extra 1/1.
Mm-hmm. If every card incubates, it's like B tier.
You just going to that. This is D tier.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's just like, man, that's a lot of work for not that much payoff.
Exactly.
It's not like, no. I don't see it. Maybe I'm dumb. Maybe I'll look back and be like, how was I thinking? This is the best card in the set, but I don't see it.
Yeah. If the incubate deck ends up being really good, I could see it coming up significantly. But
I could see it going in C, but B tier, I mean, come on, it's not Annex Sentry. Annex Sentry is insane.
No.
When 3 mana Phyrexian Awakening enchantment.
Uncommon.
When the Phyrexian Awakening enters the battlefield, incubate 4.
And Phyrexian to control have vigilance.
Phyrexian you control have vigilance.
So this is a
5 mana 4/4.
Yeah, it's a 5 mana 4/4 Vig.
And with upside.
Yeah.
And if you have this guy out, it's a 4 mana 5/5. With Vig.
5 mana 5/5 Vig.
5 mana 5/5 Vig.
I'm concerned, maybe it's from playing too much All Will Be One, that at baseline level, this is a 3 mana do nothing enchantment.
The only saving grace is that, yeah, it's 3 mana, but then next turn you pay 2 and you get the 4/4.
Yeah.
So worst case, you can do it over 2
Worst
turns, like
case,
you're flooded, you're screwing
take
or something.
Yeah, you take a hit for 1 turn. And if you're going to take a hit on 1 turn, turn 3 is not the worst time to...
Yeah, and like, and 1, obviously that means you die, you lost.
Yeah.
But, I don't know,
in a
dude.
slower format?
This is feeling to me like enough.
Mm-hmm.
How good is Vigilance, man? This is a pretty good card.
I think it's solid.
I think this is significantly better, and it's just all Phyrexians you
Mm-hmm.
control, so you can easily
Mhm.
make it to do a lot. So now in white, obviously you don't have as many Phyrexians. I'm gonna give this C.
I'm C.
Okay. I don't know. This is interesting. It's really hard because I can tell that 1 is really coloring my evaluation of these cards. But
Yeah.
okay, you can read this one.
Phyrexian Censor, 2 and a white, 3/3 creature Phyrexian wizard. Each player cannot cast more than 1 non-Phyrexian spell each turn. Non-Phyrexian creatures enter the battlefield tapped.
Okay. This is a Magic the
That's
Gathering
a Magic the Gathering
Okay,
card.
here we
Yep,
go.
that is very
card.
good.
That is a good card. See, it's a 3 mana 3/3, which you're like, oh, okay, let's see what happens. Oh, by the way, your opponent can't cast spells and things that aren't your archetype come in tapped.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good card.
That's a very good card.
Like
3
worst
mana
case,
3/3 with a ton of upside.
Yeah, like worst case, you're playing a 3/3 for 3, and you're in a format where it seems like 3/3s are honestly kind of big in the
Yeah.
early game.
Yeah.
And your opponent's creatures come in tapped, so put this in an aggro deck or some
At
kind
least
of...
non-Phyrexian creatures, so it's not very good against decks that are like the Mirror, the Phyrexian Mirror, but also
It's a 3 mana 3/3.
also yeah,
It's a situationally just a 3 mana 3/3, which is fine.
Which is
and
still
in all
fine.
lot of other situations.
and I think in most situations it'll be a 3 mana 3/3 with a ton of upside.
Gosh,
so
like
it'd
the
be
amount of
really
times
good.
things are gonna come in in tapped, and you can just hit.
Yep.
And like for battles.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, I see. This is the card we've been waiting for.
Mhm.
Like now looking back, like this is a Phyrexian.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there are a bunch of Phyrexians.
Okay.
Phyrexian will be an archetype, I think.
This is the card
But
we've been waiting for.
that's a card.
Good thing. I was
Good
starting to
card.
get a little nervous.
Me too.
Okay, 3 mana 2/2 flying. Whenever Phyrexian Pegasus attacks, another target attacking creature without flying gains flying. Whenever it attacks another
3
creature.
mana 2/2 flying Phyrexian, and then another target attacking creature without flying is flying.
And that happens.
I think this is quite a solid card.
And that happens before blocks. So,
Yes.
okay, that obviously makes sense.
Yes.
That's pretty good.
I think it's pretty good.
Man, I'm gonna get screwed over and sealed by this card, and I'm gonna be so tilted.
Fair.
I'm gonna be so tilted
Yep.
because I'm just not gonna have a way to deal with this, and I'm gonna lose and sealed. Okay.
Yep.
Is this a B or C?
I think it's borderline BC.
This is such an annoying creature.
Yep.
I hate this creature so much. I'm giving it a B. That's a good card.
Yeah, I think it is low B tier for me at first glance.
I mean, give another creature. Yeah, you know what card this is like? This is like a common version of the the angel
Steel
Steel
Seraph?
Seraph.
Which was disgusting.
Like sure, like you're not giving
Yeah.
lifelink, but let's be honest, how often did you give lifelink? 95% of the time you were
just
giving
gave
something flying.
Yeah.
And this does that at common as a 2/2
at
instead
common,
of a 3/3.
and the 3 mana version is 1 white instead of 2, so it's easier to cast.
It's
than the
yeah,
3
it's
mana
easier to
Steel Seraph.
cast. It's
And
at
Steel
common.
Seraph was one of my favorite rares of Brotherhood.
At common. Remember how
Yeah.
we were talking about evasion being important for
Yeah.
these battles?
Evasion is important.
This is evasion.
This
you
is-
basically
this
can
is
play this.
good evasion,
You can curve
too.
out, play your battle on 4, give your 2 biggest attack creatures flying, and then you hit
Yeah.
the battle, and now you
Yeah.
have a Sarah Angel.
Yeah.
Okay, I see it. I understand it. We just started off with the weak stuff, and now
Yeah.
we're getting to the juice.
Now we're getting to the real cards.
Okay, good.
That's a rare.
Oh yeah, it has an X in its name. Is this one? This is the same card.
That's the
Okay,
fancy
here we go.
art rare. Realmbreaker's Grasp. 1 and a white. Enchant artifact or creature. Enchanted permanent can't attack or block, and its activated abilities can't be activated unless they're mana abilities.
2 mana, artifact creature. Oh, this is
premium removal.
This is just what planar disruption.
Yeah, this is just planar disruption.
Is there actually a difference between this and planar disruption?
Planar disruption might be able to hit
unless they're mana
planeswalkers.
Yeah, okay, that one hits planeswalkers. Yeah, this one doesn't.
Yeah.
And this one, it doesn't turn off mana dorks.
Yeah. So it's slightly worse.
Slightly worse
planar disruption, but it's still premium removal.
And in limited, by the way, this is a limited review. We probably should have mentioned that earlier, but Here we are. This is a limited review. This is a good card. I'm going to take as many of these as I can, and everybody else is going to complain.
Same.
Okay.
Yeah, it goes in the premium removal.
Wow, so all this...
all of a sudden we found the good cards.
Let me just make sure. Yeah, like maybe Phyrexian Censor is the C. I don't know. Oh well, we're gonna move on. I'm not gonna go back and change my rankings. What they are is what they are, and then if they end up being wrong,
if they end up being skewed because we haven't seen the rest of the set, that's okay. It happens.
Exile. Okay, scroll shift.
Blink.
2 and a blue, 2 and a white. Sorry. Instant speed. Exile up to 1 target artifact, creature, or enchantment you control, then return to the battlefield under its owner's control and draw a card. Okay, 3 mana blink that pays for itself.
3 mana blink plus draw a card. It would be... I would like this a lot more if it were 2 mana. 3 mana
What are we blinking?
Deep.
Am I dumb? What am I blinking? Okay, so we're blinking... What are we blinking? We're blinking that, that, like, guy that makes... What's it called? The new mechanic?
The...
Unearth or something?
Not Unearth.
Incubate. So you can blink your Incubator, get another thing.
You can also blink your backup stuff, get extra 1/1 counters, and get extra abilities for until end of turn there.
For 3 mana.
But 3 mana is just so expensive.
Yeah, like it pays for itself, so it's like...
I think this card would be solid if it were 2 mana.
This is a D for me.
Yeah, I think it's D. It's borderline good art tier D for me.
Yeah, like this is the kind of card that you put in your deck if you just don't have enough good stuff to do, and so you're okay. I'm just gonna run 22 cards instead of 23.
Unless there is like a blue-white blink deck in the format, which we don't
would be
know
cool.
It would be cool. I love blue-white flicker decks, but we'll see.
I'm not putting this in F and G. I mean, because it gives you a card right away.
Yeah.
And sometimes, just any effect that you can, especially at instant speed, you can cast.
It at least cycles at instant speed.
And it's yeah.
Yeah.
You never know. Maybe it saves you something from a removal spell. It's just, it's bad, but it's technically you can put it in your deck, and it's not gonna like actively lose you the game.
Yep. Seal from Existence. 1 white enchantment ward 3. When it ETBs, exile target non-land permanent opponent controls until Seal from Existence leaves the battlefield.
It has ward 3.
Just put it in the premium removal tier. This card's really good.
Okay, you can put it in premium removal. This is 1 white more than Ossification.
But it also has ward 3.
But you can't really hit. It's really hard to hit.
And it's all non-land permanents. Which Ossification wasn't.
This is a good card, don't get me wrong. I just don't want to put it in B, but I think I have to, as a responsible adult. In limited, I played this card. That thing that's bothering me is gone now.
Yeah.
And it's 3 mana, it's 2 white.
If they want to remove it, not only do they have to have enchantment removal, but they have to pay 3 additional mana on top of their enchantment removal to deal with it.
Wow, that's annoying. So they spend their entire turn getting their thing back.
Yeah.
I want to be a hipster and put this in C, but it's in B. It just can't not be in B.
Yeah.
Okay.
Seed Pod Caretaker, 2 and a white for 2/2 when it ETBs, choose 1, put a 1/1 creature on target artifact or creature you control, transform target incubator token you control.
When Seed Pod Caretaker enters the battlefield, choose 1.
So it's either a 3 mana 2/2 plus a 1/1 counter, so baseline at worst it's a 3 mana 3/3, which is fine, or it is a 3 mana transform target incubator token plus a 2/2.
So you kind of cheat out. Again, you cheat out 2 mana.
Yeah.
So in that case, it would
It's
be...
a 1 mana 2/2.
It's a 1 mana 2/2. So it's a 1 mana 2/2, or it's a 3 mana 3/3. That's fine.
That's fine. Yeah, that'll be solid.
That's fine with me.
Yeah.
D or C?
I think it's C tier. I think it's low C tier.
I'm gonna put it in D, because this is a 3/3 that, or a 1/1. Like 1 mana 2/2 is fine, but you're playing it on turn 3, which is like fine. Like this is one of those cards that's fine, but it's not like it's not the same. We were talking earlier about how a 3 mana 3/3 is fine.
Yeah.
It was fine because that was its worst case. Whereas usually it's your opponent's creatures are entering tapped and all this other disgusting nonsense is happening.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm putting it in D. I don't know. It seems very just mediocre. Seraph of New Capenna. You can read that one.
2 mana and a white for a 2/2 flying. 4 and a Phyrexian black to transform it at sorcery speed. And when you flip it over, it becomes a 3/3. Could you flip the card, please?
Sure.
It becomes a 3/3 flying that whenever it attacks, you can sacrifice another creature or artifact. If you do, it gets +2/+1 until end of turn. So it's a 3 mana 2/2 flying that if you have nothing else to do, you can make it a 3/3 that has minor upside. I mean, it's fine.
I think it's cool.
I like the idea. I don't think it's super strong.
That's interesting that it's in black.
It's, black-white.
Why do you think it's in black?
It flavor-wise, it's because it gets Phyrexianized. In terms of deck building, I don't know.
Let's see the black cards.
Yeah.
I'm happy with this. This does enough for me.
Does enough. Earn a C for me.
Good card. Just, you play it.
Yep.
It's a 2/2 flying.
Yep.
Does something cool in the late game in a stalled board state. You could. The dream is you play this out and then you sack. Okay, whenever
another
attacks.
Creature or artifact, so you sack.
Okay, you can only do it once. So that makes it worse.
Yes. Yeah, but it can become a 5/4.
And it's just another way to pop the battles. I'm really going in on this battle theme, but I just feel like it's gonna be enough. You're gonna have a ways to do this.
Yeah.
Okay, Sigiled Sentinel, 3-drop, 2 and a white. Backup 1 when ATBs put a counter on a target creature, so it's backup 1 with Vig, so it's a 3/3 Vig. Or it can be
at worst.
Yeah, it's basically just a 3/3 Vig.
And or
you
3 mana 2/2 give something else +1/+1 counter and Vig till end of turn. It's fine. It's a human. It's a knight.
This is a D for me. Oops. I just don't think 3/3 Vig just by itself is just middling to me. It's a 2/2 if you don't give the counter to itself, and it's I think between these two cards, I would
definitely always pick,
and that's
Seraph.
why I'm just giving it a lower rating.
Yeah, fair enough. No, D tier.
I'm never thinking, oh, I already have 2 Seraph of New Capennas. I better pick the Sigiled Sentinel.
Yeah.
No. Next, Sunblessed Guardian. Ooh, this is a big mana. I'm starting to like it already.
It's a bear, 2 mana 2/2, 5 and a red Phyrexian to transform it as a sorcery. Comes a 3/3 that when it attacks, create a tapped and attacking token that's a copy of it. Put a 1/1 counter on that token for each 1/1 counter on a conqueror. Sack that token at the beginning of the next end step.
I like this. This is a fun card. It's 6 5 mana that can transform it though. Jeez.
It's minimum 5 mana
and
2 life. To
this is
yeah.
This card is not flipping over very often.
No.
And
it really is a 2 mana 2/2 human.
This is
most of the time.
This is a card that some of our friends will draft around for the entire set and lose many games, but there will be one time where they get 5 counters on this thing, and then I die to it because I haven't outdrawn any of my removal. And for that reason,
it goes in D tier. Yep, exactly.
Because that is gonna be hilarious for somebody when I die to it.
Yep, it is a serviceable 2 mana 2/2 that once in a blue moon will be really cool.
Yeah, and so it aids G for now, good art for now, but it's not where you really want to be.
Yeah.
Sunder the Gateway. Choose one for 2 mana. Destroy target non-token artifact or enchantment an opponent controls and incubate 2. Or incubate 2, then transform an incubated token to control.
So it's either a
sorcery speed.
2 mana sorcery, make a 2/2, which is okay. Or it's incubate 2 plus artifact enchantment removal.
This is a sideboard card. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
it's pretty good. As a sideboard card. I'm gonna go high D tier.
Okay. Yeah, because it's just. Do you ever main deck this? Have you seen enough artifacts?
Well, the incubators are artifacts.
Is that really where you want to be, spending your card to get half of somebody else's card?
No, not necessarily. But there are... I'm taking a guess and saying that with the battle mechanic there are at least an okay number of enchantments.
Oh! Yeah, it's battles. No,
it doesn't hit battles the front side.
it
hit battles on the back side.
But are you running this? Are you your main deck?
No.
Okay, so it's going in D.
Yes.
Okay, I know sometimes
that's why it's in D tier.
Sometimes people have like sideboard or build around ratings. I don't feel like doing that, at least not for this. Maybe for the legendaries we will, for the rares.
Yeah.
But I'm not putting that in my main deck. I don't think too often.
That rare looks quite good. But
We'll revert to that later.
To that. Surge of Salvation.
1 white. You and permanents you control gain hexproof until end of turn. Prevent all damage that black and or red sources would deal to creatures you control.
Now this is a trick.
Yeah, like what was that other trick you were trying
to
like pass off on me that was like 3 mana? Where was that guy? Somewhere up here?
Remember.
Probably in G somewhere.
Yeah.
Cut short maybe. I don't know. One of those. Bola Slinger probably. We'll see. We'll see. What do you think of this card?
This is, if you're running tricks, this is the kind of trick you want to run.
Okay. You and permanents you can hexproof. So all permanents.
Yeah.
Does that... Okay, so explain something because I don't know. Does this counter wraths of a certain color? Say like the wrath board. Can I play this?
No, because it doesn't target.
Okay.
However, it would counter, say, Star of Extinction or Red Wrath that deals a bunch of damage to all creatures. It would have that only kill your opponent's creatures. However, that's an extremely niche case.
This is a D for me. The fact that it prevents damage gives it the out of being a sideboard card for me against certain. This is I'm putting this in G. I hate these kinds of cards. I don't want to put this in my deck. I mean, in Constructed, there's a place for this card where your opponent has all the removal.
I don't know. I think in Limited, I think this goes in D tier because I will want maybe one of them, but no more than one.
I think you're probably right in the long run. I am putting this in good art out of principle because I do not think it is a good card and it deserves to be in any deck. Like anytime we see a new format, they print these kinds of cards, and then by the end of the format, you're not running any of them. We saw that with like the 1 mana enchantment trick from last time. There was the same with like Lauren's Escape. At first people ran it, then they started realizing you really don't want that card in your deck.
Yeah. I mean, Lauren's Escape was an okay as a one of.
Yeah,
like even at the end of the format, I would have put it D tier as like I'll run one sometimes.
Fine. I will to maintain the integrity of the rankings. Man, we had like a stretch in here that was around fire, and now we're back in the depths.
Back to the junk.
All right, you got this.
Swordsworn Cavalier, 1 and a white for a 3/1. It has first strike as long as another knight enter the battlefield under your control this turn.
I like this card. It is a 3/1. It is the first 3/1 we've seen.
It's a 2 mana 3/1. It's the first one we've seen, and getting first strike on a significantly harder to get condition is significantly better for the format.
I call these kinds of cards top heavy too.
Yeah.
Because they got the big attack and the low toughness.
Yep. So they get blocked by anything unless you have no other knights.
But this is but that's what you want for your first strike.
And
creatures.
that's what you want.
As you play your creature, and now this has first strike. You swing for damage, or you hit the battle.
And we've seen a bunch of other knights already in this format.
I like this card.
I think it's solid.
I'm not willing to put this in B. I will put this in C.
No, this is in C tier for me.
Okay. Glad we're in agreement on that. Tarkir Dune Shaper. 1 white for a 1/2. You can pay 4 and a green.
Phyrexian green.
Phyrexian green.
To transform
it at sorcery speed only. It becomes a 4/3 with trample. I like this card. This is an early game creature.
It's an early game blocker that in the late game can turn into a trampler.
And it's respectable trampler. This is a respectable creature.
I think it's okay.
Now, one thing about it that's kind of problematic is that once they can kill this in response to you paying.
In response to
that's not
good. Yeah.
Oh, that hurts. Especially because it's
hurts.
sorcery speed, so you can only do it on your turn.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so brutal.
Yeah.
Because, like, yeah, that hurts.
I couldn't place it first, so I was like, I want to like this, but I really don't like
this
a lot.
That's the problem.
That's the problem.
You can't do this, say, on instep or something, on their instep.
Yeah.
You have to do this on your turn, and then they get to blow you out by dealing 2 to it, which is not a big ask.
Not a lot.
That sucks. I'm putting this in D now.
Yep, it goes in D tier.
I wanted that to be good. I saw the green. I was like, it's my time. I love green. Big green time. That is not big. Big green is not. That is not what big green needs right now.
Yeah. Tiller of Flesh.
Whenever it's 3 and a white for a 2/4. Whenever you cast a spell that targets 1 or more permanents, incubate 2. Whenever you cast a spell that targets 1 or more permanents, that's yours or your opponent's.
Yep.
And you get an incubate.
Yep. That's a nice upside.
That is good. That's fine with me.
I quite like. Yeah. I like this. This is like old school heroic mechanic.
This is like
except a little better even.
Whenever you play this guy out, and you just start you play some removal, you play little self buff stuff.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, this also has a little combo with that blink card.
Yep, that's what I was thinking. I don't know if it quite reaches B tier. It's definitely C tier.
Okay. I'm gonna speculate on this one. I'm liking this thing. I like this. Everything about it makes sense to me. It's a 4-drop. You can splash it because it's only 1 white. It's a 2/4. It blocks well, and that's what you want to be doing with this incubate stuff. Is you want something that kind of blocks. And it just works with everything. I'm giving this a B. I think it's gonna be good. I think this is gonna be really good. I think you're gonna run this, and you're gonna be really happy.
I think because this format seems like it's going to be slower, I think I'm going to put this in bottom of B tier.
Interesting. Okay. I thought you were going to go with C, but now...
I thought about it, but in a slower format, paired with the right other colors, if there are even,
No,
even, the enchantment removal in white works with this. There's so many solid because it's not an instant or sorcery, also, the enchantment removal stuff works with this.
That's true. You can just...
That's what pushes it over to B tier for me.
Now, the only thing I'm worried about is that it's a 4-drop. If this was a 3-drop, it'd be just slam it in.
Yeah.
As a 4-drop, how many of these would you run?
2, at least.
Okay,
in the right deck.
Would you run 3?
I don't know.
I think I would. I think I'd run 3 or 4.
I think I might run 3 or 4. I haven't seen the rest of the cards, so I'm
think about
being
this.
a little conservative here.
You have 4 of these in your deck. You draw 2. You play 1. Then you just play 1. You're board stalling, and then you just play planar disruption, and then you're just printing out little tokens.
You print 2 more 2/2s for removing your opponent's biggest creature.
and
Seems
then
good.
or you have like some little, I don't know, some nonsense like some buff or something, or
Yeah.
okay, it's whenever you cast a spell. So I was thinking about like if this works with equipment. It doesn't work with equipment.
No.
That would be funny if it did, but that would make it instantly like A tier.
Yeah.
We haven't seen any A tier yet. It's probably because we're not doing the
We're not doing the rares yet.
and we haven't seen anything. I haven't seen anything for me that really gets into that like this is BS tier yet.
Yep.
But probably won't until we get to the rares.
I
but
suspect maybe some of the multicolor uncommons might push A tier.
probably there's probably gonna be at least one or two that were like that is redonkulous. What is that doing in this game?
Yeah. So,
Okay.
Last white card is Zhalfir.
I like this. This is a spicy speculation right there.
Mhm.
You got it.
Zhalfirian Lancer, 2 and a white for a 3/3. Whenever another knight ETB is under your control, it gets +1/+1 engaged vigilance until end of turn.
There was a card. It was like Badger that basically did this,
Mhm.
so it didn't get the health.
Mhm.
This is a bigger version of the artifact payoff in white from last set from a Brothers board.
Mhm.
That card was only that good because it was being carried by the best archetype.
Yeah.
This is a D.
Yeah, I do not like this card. I think it's D tier.
Okay. Yep.
So that
Good. That
takes care
completes
of
the white. Okay, so let's take a brief look back at what we rated, and we'll highlight some. We'll highlight some of the ones. A lot of D's and C's. Let's see. Let's look at the ones where we disagreed, and then we'll like briefly revisit those, and then we'll move on to the next color, and just talk about like in general. What are your general thoughts on white? While I move around here.
I mean, I'm still getting used to this format being a little bit slower than normal, but I do think White has some interesting archetypes. I think there will be a lot of like creature-based archetypes, creature-type archetypes. Phyrexians, knights,
Tribals,
humans.
yeah.
The tribals will be there, but White, I think, can support those different tribals pretty well.
Yeah, I think so too, and I think there's gonna be some. It looked like most of the cards we rated highly were uncommon, except for that Raptor, which I mean,
And
I don't.
the planar disruption.
And the planar, and obviously the white removal is always
Yeah.
going to be there.
Yeah.
Other than those, like, I don't see too much going on. What do you think, looking back at Alabaster, like Host Intercessor, for example? It's a 6 mana, 3/4
removal spell with plane cycling. Seeing how slow this format looks, I don't think my rate. I think I'm pretty happy with C tier, honestly. Like with a slow format, like it removes your opponent's biggest creature. It's a slow removal spell, but this is a very slow format, and
You're
it has
right.
plane cycling
And you
in
know
the
what?
early game if you need it.
Crucially, this, if you hit your opponent's little incubator tokens,
Mhm.
they're gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Let's see. Let's do like maybe one more. Is there anything on this list that you kind of? Is there anything big?
I'd
ones
be
worth
interested in investigating. I'd like to revise Angelic Intervention.
more? Which one?
Oh no, that one we put. Yeah, Angelic Intervention is just worse than the 1 mana. It's just worse. It belongs in G tier.
If it's a creature, yeah.
Like I just want to run the hexproof trick every day of the week over this.
Yeah, and I
if
don't
the
even want to run
hexproof-
the hexproof.
If the
trick.
hexproof trick didn't exist, like maybe D tier, but man, the hexproof trick is just better.
Yeah, that's rough. Let's see, Infected Defector. Hilarious name. Where is it?
That one. When it dies, incubate 3.
What did I give this?
Give
D?
it a D.
That seems about right.
I
for
think I
this.
gave it a low C. I think it could go either way.
I think it could. I'm gonna leave it where I put it because I
Yeah.
think like
So
that's
am
fine.
I think it's fine.
Okay, cool. So looks good. Looks like white has the typical stuff going on. Really strong removal.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Flying synergies.
That flying thing is just gonna. I know that thing is gonna.
It's gonna beat my ass.
Yeah,
dude.
like I'm just gonna get clapped by that thing and sealed, and
Yeah.
and then I'm never gonna hear the
Sad.
end of it from my friends. But yeah, I think you know which friend. But
I do.
Josh, if you're listening, except that one's actually a good card. Oops, I can put that in the wrong tier. I want this to be the color blue. Okay, I'll let you start off while I
Yeah.
get typing.
Artistic Refusal is a 4 blue instant with Convoke, which means you can tap a creature to pay for either one of the spell's mana cost or 1 mana of that creature's color, to choose one or both. Counter target spell or draw 2, then discard a card.
6 mana. Okay, that's Convoke.
It has Convoke, which
Counter
helps.
target spell.
It's
and
a hard
or
counter at least.
Draw 2 cards, then discard a card. What am I supposed to do with cards like this?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'm trying to internally justify why this card would be playable, and it's hard.
Okay, no. Baseline, you are always drawing 2 and discarding 1.
Yes.
And since this kind of, you spend this card as well, yeah, you get rid of like your land, and then it replaces your hand with 2 new cards.
Yeah.
And you get a counter spell, which I don't run 3 mana counter spells. I do run 2 mana counter spells.
Yeah.
So
even if it is blue counter target spell, you still are paying 4 mana either via Convoke or via your lands to draw 2 then discard a card, which is not good.
it's
really not good.
I have to remove myself from Phyrexia All We Want and Brothers War right now when I read this card.
Mm-hmm.
I am just I'm sniffing as much hopium as I possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
This card sucks.
I could begrudgingly consider putting it in D tier, but my better judgment says, no way, this card is terrible. There will be a time where one of our friends will blow me out with it, and I'll be salty.
Oh,
because
100%. This is
we'll
this is a card that I will get
terrible
blown
card.
out by at some point, and I will be like, "What is
Why
happening?"
are you doing this? Why are you running this?
They'll have somehow, for some stupid reason, they'll have like 10 mites on the battle. 10 of those little. Can you tap? Does that include that? Can you tap the little
when they're
artifact?
creatures?
They're not
yes.
creatures yet.
When they're not creatures, no.
Okay.
You have to tap creatures.
Wow. What?
Like, I'm sorry. This card has nice art. I'm sorry. It's terrible.
It's like, okay, this is the situation. Here, hear me out. You have like 3 or 4 cards in your hand, then some lands. And you've managed to stabilize the board.
Uh-huh.
And then you're in a top deck war, and you haven't, and you're not, no, you're not in a top deck war yet, because if you were, you would have just played it for the card draw.
Mm-hmm.
Just as you get enough mana to cast this, your opponent decides to play their bomb, and you counterspell it and replace your hand with a slightly better hand.
Mm-hmm.
And you tap out your board and hope you don't die.
I'm sorry, no! No!
Then it's sweet. You're up by 2 cards. You're 2
Yeah, that'll
cards.
happen once in the entire set. Good
oh
luck.
man, I'm want this card to be good.
I seriously want that card to be good, but I just don't.
If this ends up being like one of those cards, it's like you run 10 in your deck and it's the best card in the set. Great. I'm happy that this is the set we landed in. Right now, this isn't the world we live in.
Okay, okay. This is a significantly better counterspell.
I'll let you read while I'm typing.
Assimilate Essence, 1 and a blue. Counter target creature or battle spell unless its controller pays 4. If they do, you incubate 2.
Okay, that's a good card.
That is a card.
Is
that
blue
is
back?
a real card.
Is blue finally back?
I hope so.
Blue wasn't off to a good start, but
it's about time.
Counter, yeah. It's just, that's a lot of value.
Yeah, either you pay 2 mana and get it, you incubate 2, but your opponent also pays 4 mana, or you counter target creature or battle spell.
Great.
This is a counter I will actually consider playing. The same way Essence Scatter was very playable in Dominaria United.
I'm gonna still put it. It's a good card.
It's still situational.
It is a counterspell unlimited.
Yeah, which inherently aren't that good, but it is significantly better than Artistic Refusal.
I am going to artistically refuse to put this in B tier. I will put it in C.
Yeah, C tier is where it goes for me too. I wasn't even considering B tier.
I mean, it's a lot for a cheap card. You can get a lot of, but it's not tempo really. It's more like just a lot of value.
Yeah.
But it seems like blue seems to be so far the value color from what I've been hearing.
Definitely.
Astral Wingspan. 4 and a blue enchantment. With Convoke, you enchant a creature. When Astral Wingspan enters battlefield, it replaces itself, and enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and has flying. Ooh.
Why is this an uncommon?
Oh man, poor blue.
This being uncommon just hurts me. Like, yeah, no. I've seen cards like this before, and they're never good. This card has nice art. And
it is really cool art.
It
like,
has
look
beautiful
this,
art.
Look at the way the wings
on
on the rhino. Oh,
beautiful.
It's like Toph Beifong's.
But put it in G tier. No.
Oh yeah, beautiful, beautiful art. Captive Weird.
Oh, one of our friends is playing this.
Defender for 1/1/3. Okay, that blocks.
3 and a Phyrexian red to transform it. It flips into
a 3/3.
When it transforms, exile the top card of your library until the end of your action. You can play that card.
That's a good card.
Yeah, that's solid.
That's a good card.
Yeah.
Okay. We're in there. Captive Weird. So tell me what you think of this. What do you think?
I mean,
a 1-mana 1/3.
A 1-mana 1/3 defender.
That's fine with me.
Which is fine.
Yeah,
Though
it's so
fine.
much better than 0/3.
Agree.
Like I cannot express how much more willing to play this I am.
And it turns into a 3/3 that kind of draws you a card.
Okay, and it's until the end of your next turn.
Yes.
Which is amazing. Amazing because that.
Yeah.
And 3 mana to flip it is.
3 and 2 life to flip it isn't too bad.
So make sure that you're sitting around being okay in the early game.
Yeah.
And then when you have some extra mana, you just flip it.
And you
draw a card.
I still am concerned about activate only as a sorcery getting blown out, but at least you have to deal 3 damage to it instead of 2 like we saw before.
Well, yeah, and for me it's 3 mana. You can only pay 3 mana for it.
Yeah, instead of 5. So I think this card is fine.
Well, the other one was 4 and a green, so this is 3 and a blue. I'm almost always. I feel like I'm gonna always be paying with life.
Yeah.
But
I am putting this bottom of C tier probably. Yeah.
I think drawing a card for me is a lot more valuable than that. I mean, 4/3 trample. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking about it. I just feel this. This is like that card felt like it had to be good. This card is. I'll put it in C. Move on. What do you think?
No, bottom C tier is where I'm putting it.
Okay, change the equation. I like this name of this card because of me. I'm a math person.
1 and a blue, instant. Choose 1. Counter target spell with mana value 2 or less, or counter target red or green spell with mana value 6 or less. This is a sideboard card, and not a very good one at that.
Yeah, I really like how the fireballs and then it has little nice equations on it. Yeah, I really like that.
The art legitimately looks really cool.
It does.
But this card sucks.
It's really sweet art. Speaking of
nice art, that's a rare. We'll come back.
Well, actually, I don't know if it's good art. I have to read it, but
it's a shark.
Okay, yeah.
Floating in a tornado. It has nice art.
That's true. That's true.
Corruption of Tawashi.
Yeah, I think it's like Tawashi.
4 and a blue, enchantment. When an ETBs incubate 4, whenever a permanent you control transforms or a permanent enters the battlefield under your control transformed, you may draw a card. Do this only once each turn.
That is a great way to grind someone out of the game.
It is a 7 mana 4/4 draw card, which in limited is playable. This will absolutely grind people out.
This card would be A if it had Convoke.
True. This card would be incredible if it had Convoke.
It does not have Convoke.
Yes.
It is 5 mana.
Which takes it down significantly.
It is 5 mana, do nothing.
Yes. And I think that takes it down probably 2 tiers for me.
Really?
Yeah.
You're going to put this in C?
Top of C. Because it is a 5 mana enchantment that does nothing. if you top deck this in the late game where you're a little behind.
I mean, how late game? Because if you top this at 7, you just get 4/4. And if this thing sticks, if you untap with this, you basically win.
Sure.
I'm putting this in. I can't not put this in B. I think this is enough. This is enough for me. I mean, if we get another format like one, in one brain, this is G. This is good art.
yeah.
But just off of what we saw, and white's usually one of the more aggressive colors with the higher creature quality.
Sure. No, yeah. There's only with there only being 1/3/1 in white. I could
and
see
you
this.
you give it what you want to give
No,
it.
I could see this. I'll put it in the bottom of B tier for now.
Yeah, I don't know. For me,
I think it's on the border.
Definitely on the border, but I just see a world where you run 1 or 2 of these.
Mm-hmm.
You just stabilize the board, then you play this.
You just slowly win the game.
Yeah, you just one. You just have one.
Yeah.
You play it.
Yeah.
And
but are you
untap.
Are you
win.
really running 3-4 of these in limited?
I wouldn't run 3 or 4. I would run 2 though, and I think they'd be like the best cards. I would build my deck around them.
Okay.
But, or if I just happen to, even if I wasn't in blue, I would splash this.
Mm-hmm.
You can splash late game cards.
If you're in an incubate deck.
Even if you're an aggro, some sort of aggro incubate deck.
Yeah.
You're just any deck that wants to transform. It's just so much.
Yeah.
Even if you have a few.
Also, how many decks in this format are going to want to transform?
I mean, it's a core mechanic of the set, so I'm hoping a few.
A few, but when you're not in those decks, obviously this card is 7 mana, 4/4 draw card, which is.
It's not good. That's not a good card.
No. In the right decks, I think this card is definitely B tier. I'm just concerned that not all the decks are going to be the right deck for this card.
That's true, because Annex Sentry goes in every single deck.
Yeah, I will play an Annex Sentry in every white deck.
Cinder/Ravager went in every deck, and I would put that in the same in B tier, but I mean... Planar Disruption, are you going to be... Is it situational enough that you're going to talk me out of the...
I think it is situational
the copium?
enough. Yeah, I think it is situational enough that I have to change back to C.
I am not going to change, and honestly, I'm going to say straight up, it's probably because the art is so sick that I can't help not running this.
I'll be fair. The art is great.
But I'm going to stick to my guns on this. I'm going to speculate a little bit.
Yeah.
I think this card in this format, from what I've seen, is going to be really good.
Yeah.
But you could absolutely be right that I could just be looking at look how badass this card looks, and it's just terrible.
I could also be wrong. If the transform decks are really good, this could easily end up at the top of B tier.
Yeah, it could just be one of those cards that's oh my gosh, my opponent, it could be the Chaplain of the set, where you just roll your eyes every time you see it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Disturbing Conversion. 1 in a blue, flash, enchant creature. When it ETBs, each player mills 2, enchanted creature gets -XO, where X is the number of cards in its controller's graveyard. And that would be us.
No, that would be the opponent.
Its controller being... Okay, I see.
The opponent.
So baseline, it's flash, enchantment...
-2.
Mill
2, -2, -0.
I've never played with this kind of card, and I don't like it. No.
I would think this card was okay if it was 1 mana. It is not. It is 2 mana, and therefore I think this card is bad.
It's gonna be sweet in that Jace deck that people have been brewing. But that's really cool. I like how the arms, the kind of eyeball things are coming out of the shoulder.
Tentacle eyeballs. They're so pretty.
I know, really pretty art.
I could see it coming up to D tier, but yeah.
I am never playing that in my deck. I don't care. Because you can blink you can blink your stuff or something, and it's.
But at least the blink is 3 mana.
I mean, there's gonna be other better stuff to do, or It's just that's just embarrassing.
Yeah.
Compared to Planar Disruption or something, it's just embarrassing.
Yeah.
Ifara's Dispersal. 2 in a blue instant. This spell costs 2 less to cast. It targets an attacking creature. Return creature to its owner's hand. Surveil 2. So Surveil is the one.
Bounce plus Surveil.
And that's you look at this. You look at them, and then you can choose to put them in your graveyard. And you look at them at the same time, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. You look at 2, you can put them in on the top of your library in any order, or both in
Right,
your graveyard,
right. It's like
or one.
better
or one.
scrying. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. The spell costs 2 to cast if it targets an attacking creature. Okay, I think that's
I
pretty
think this
reasonable.
is very playable. I
Yeah.
think it's very fine. It's not an all-star, but I think this is quite fine.
It's not quite Talarian Geyser,
no.
but this can also cost 1,
Mhm.
which is
1 mana bounce plus Surveil 2 is very good.
that's a good, and like there's no reason why you wouldn't. Pretty much no reason why this doesn't ever always hit an attacking creature because you can
Yeah.
play it at instant speed.
Unless you
Oh.
really need to get like an ability off the
And
board.
importantly, yeah. So what you can do is when we were talking about ways to blow out those like transform cards.
Yeah. You'd have to pay 3 mana,
You
but
could
it
pay
does blow
3,
out.
but man, they are going to be
That is
very,
a huge blowout.
because you're doing this on their turn and then untapping.
Yep.
They have lost their turn.
Their entire turn.
And you're surveilling too.
Yeah.
That card, okay, that's a
Yeah.
card.
Yep. No, this is a card.
Is this going in B or C for you?
I think this is top of C tier for me.
Yep, I'm gonna agree with you on that. This is going in C, and I'm gonna be very happy when I play this when they on the same turn
When-
that I played my
Yeah.
my super cool corruption of Tawashi. Expedition Lookout. Ooh, it's a Merfolk. Oh, he's
Merfolk
close to my
Rogue.
heart. 2/3 Defender. As long as an opponent has 8 or more cards in their graveyard, Expedition Lookout can attack as though it didn't have Defender and can't be blocked. It's here. The Defender deck.
The Defender
is
deck
back.
is back. One of our friends is going to
So
play
the
this
dream,
every
yeah,
week.
you can curve out. You can play the other Defender on 1, and then play this on 2, and then on 3
Mhm.
you can flip it and draw a card that's your 4-drop.
Mhm. I think the
It's
clothes
perfect.
on this Merfolk are really cool. I think this card has nice art. It's got cool like scouting with a dagger.
No, hold on. Okay, you're saying this is G for you?
Yes, this is terrible. It's a 2 mana 2/3 defender with minor upside. 2 mana 2/3 defender is just bad.
In the late game, it can attack as though
It's
and
a
it can't be
2/3
blocked.
Okay, it can't be blocked. It does help. I missed that the first time.
Yeah, it can't be blocked.
Even still, it's
Like this is so much better than the stupid oil 1/3 thing that has to have like 4 oil counters for some unholy reason. I'm not saying it's good.
it's not. It's.
I
it
am
might
saying
not be G
I will
tier.
put this in my blocking deck.
Sure.
Because like if I'm running,
So where are you putting this? What?
I'm putting this
D
in
tier
D tier.
then? Okay,
I will
it
run
can't
that.
be blocked. Puts it into D tier for me too.
Like
But this one hurts.
it is a 2/3 blocking creature.
Yeah.
If
It's
you
a
are just
fine
playing a 2 mana
blocker.
2/3 and blocking with it,
Yeah.
and then you get this marginal upside in the late game, it gets
Sure.
in.
Sure.
That has
it
a place.
can't be
That has a
blocked.
home.
Yeah. It
If you
can't
need
be
2
blocked,
drops,
but
I'll
it-
play this.
Yeah. Sure. It can't be blocked. Puts it in D tier.
Okay. I think it just has a 2/3 I'd play it. I think that can't be blocked is like I was thinking about putting it in C honestly. Where it's
Okay.
just, but I don't think I want more than like 1 of those in my deck.
Yeah.
2, I'm already starting to feel kind of embarrassed.
Yeah.
All right.
Eyes of Gitaxias. Sorcery speed, 2 and a blue. Incubate 3, draw a card.
Incubate 3. Okay. Draw a card.
So it's a
5 mana,
3
3/3
mana
draw
for
a card.
5 mana 3/3 draw a card. Yikes.
Notably, it does activate my Tower of Corruption of Tawashi, which I'm definitely gonna have in every single blue deck, and then not just drinking, smoking the copium right now. You know.
Copium.
It'll be good with that. It'll draw me too. Oh man, poor blue.
I'm sorry, this card is bad.
How embarrassed would I be to have one of these in my deck? Pretty embarrassed.
Pretty embarrassed, not gonna lie.
That's just embarrassing.
It's just embarrassing, man.
Like, when you
it
have- when
doesn't
your
even
other-
have particularly nice art, but like, jeez.
I mean, I kind of like the eyeball thing. It's the eyes of Gitaxias. That's pretty. Those are his eyes right there.
Sure.
Alright. Oh, blue.
Furtive Analyst. 3 mana, 1/4 vigilance, 2 and tap it. to loot.
1/4 is a big.
1/4
booty.
is a big booty. That is also
I
my
do
thoughts.
like big booty. 2 mana draw. 2 mana to rummage is kind of rough. And you tap it.
It loots. It doesn't rummage.
Oh,
but
loots.
yes.
Yes.
Which is
Thank you.
marginally better.
That's Vidge, so you can
Mhm.
get in for 1 and then
Mhm.
still do the thing on him.
Mm-hmm.
This
I think
is
in a grindy game. It'll be okay as a 1/of, but yeah, it's B tier.
it's a little embarrassing, but it's much less embarrassing than
Significantly
the other cards.
less embarrassing than Eyes of Gitaxias, but not great.
Yeah. Halo Charged Scab. 4 and a blue for a 4/4. Okay, off to a good start. When it ETBs, each player mills 2, and then you may put an instant sorcerer battle card from your graveyard on top of your library. Oh, that's so slow and just...
I mean, this format is slow, which helps a little.
It's instant or sorcery?
Yeah, instant sorcery or battle.
Or battle. That is just embarrassing. I'm gonna type the name while you decide. You can talk about what you think of this.
I mean, I don't think it's as embarrassing as Eyes of Gitaxias. I don't think it's good by any stretch of the imagination, but I could see putting one of these in a deck as my 23rd card.
Okay, you're gonna give it a D?
I think it's low D.
I'm really admiring his the pectoral muscles and the like nice those ley line bindings in the background.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at on this card. That is just.
I think some of our friends might like that card. I do not like it. I will not run it by choice.
Invasion of Kamigawa. Oh. Of Kamigawa.
3 and a blue is 4 toughness. When an ETB is tapped, target artifact or creature an opponent controls and put a stun counter on it. And when it flips
to a
turns
2/3.
into a 2/3 flying, then whenever it deals combat damage to a player or battle, draw a card.
4 mana,
4 mana for temporary removal plus a battle that turns into a nice creature, to be fair.
Oh, that's
a very nice
That
creature.
is nice. I am diggity down with that. 4 mana.
But 4 mana is a
remove,
little
like-
steep.
Yeah, it does.
Especially for not hard removal. Like, it removes it for what, 2 turns?
See, this is like one of those cards where it's really bad on the front and then good on the back, which I liked in white because I felt like white had the ways to get in.
Yeah. We really haven't seen flyers. Or
I would
ways
put
to
this
get
in my white deck with a bunch of
Yeah.
raptors in it, and I'd be like, oh yeah, that's pretty good.
In the classic blue-white flyers, assuming we'll see a few other flyers, this is fine.
I'd put that in that deck.
I'd put that in that deck. I
But
wouldn't put that in many other decks.
Man, that's steep.
Yeah, 4 mana is just a lot for this.
But if you flip it,
it's real good.
but they can just remove it when you flip it.
Yeah, and it only has 3 toughness.
I am going to try it.
I will try it. It's fringe playable for starters. It might quickly turn into good art tier. It might quickly turn into okay
This
tier.
also, I will say this too. This feels like one of those cards that it gets worse as the set progresses.
Yeah.
Where like
Yeah.
in Sealed Day 1, like
Mhm.
they're like, this card is insane. It's so broken. I can't do anything. And then by the end of the set, you're like, oh yeah, I'll just save my lightning bolt for it or whatever.
Yep.
Or my what was that white one that was 1 mana to exile it?
The Elspeth Smite.
Yeah, I'll save that thing.
Yeah.
And
Then it's gone forever.
and yeah, not my problem anymore.
Yeah. Invasion of Rin. 3 and a blue, 4 health. When an ETBs, draw 3, then discard a card. And on the back side, it's an artifact. 1 tap, sack it to copy target spell you control.
That's fun.
This is a fun card.
I mean, I don't know about you, but if you let me cast some spells twice, especially if it's Corruption of Tawashi,
Yeah.
my Corruption of a Tawashi,
Yeah.
I have won the game.
Like, copy, yeah.
So you
There
basically
are lots of
you
good things to
basically
copy here.
can you add 1 mana to the mana cost of your spells, but
and
it
you
double,
get 2 of them,
but you double
which
cast
is
it.
always good, always just fantastic.
That is so fun, and
It's 4 mana for draw 3, discard a card.
Yeah, that's a. I am saying it. I am gonna regret this later. Mia's gonna slap myself, pass me across the face
Are
for
you
this.
gonna put this in B tier?
I'm putting this in
I'm
B
putting
tier.
this in C tier.
Okay, that's good. Someone's more reasonable than me.
I think I will have a ton of fun playing this card. I don't think it'll be the best card ever, but I will thoroughly enjoy playing this card.
This is gonna be the best card ever. You guys are all gonna see. I'm gonna run this thing out. I'm gonna draw some card. I'm gonna be ahead on board because I'm gonna be playing overstated defender cards. I'm playing a 1/3 into a 2/3, and I don't know, something on 3. Oh, that's the one I went for. Yeah. And then I'm gonna play this, and then I'm gonna magically pop it.
Somehow I'm gonna hit it, and then I'll flip it, and I'll cast my 6-mana counter twice.
Yeah. That's now. I'm starting to realize now that there's a serious problem with my plan, is I have no clue how.
No way how to flip this thing. I seriously hope we see more flyers in blue, because I don't know how the hell you're flipping this thing. But even as just 4 mana, draw 3, discard 1 in blue with all the defenders, it's still fine.
Oh, no, here's how you flip it. You mill them to 8, then you hit them with the unblockable 2/3 that they don't remove after it's unblockable. They definitely don't remove
bad cards to make my
oh man,
slightly better cards better. No. Wow, that's a steep drop.
Okay, so really it's 4 mana, draw 3,
discard 1, which is fine.
That's fine.
It's solid.
And then
in blue, when you have so many defenders, like, to just gum up the board, like, it's decent value.
What really this is yeah, it's a card draw spell, and then.
Yeah.
And then when you outvalue your opponent, you get to win in a really cool way instead of just the normal boring way.
Yep.
So instead of your friendly opponent being upset that they got outvalued by a control deck and they flooded.
Yeah. Control decks will love this card.
Yeah, like you're gonna get to have some really cool flashy thing to do to like kill them after they were already dead.
Yeah. And I don't think most opponents are going to complain about that because, hey, it's not every day that you get to die by some actually cool way. I was
on it, Nate. I had my plan of defenders, and then I realized that defenders can't attack.
Yes.
Unfortunately, and
that would be the problem.
That
one of our friends will quickly run into when he inevitably builds the defender deck.
Yep. 3 in a blue, Meeting of the Minds, instant speed, convoke, draw 2.
This being instant speed makes it significantly better, because on a stall board state, you tap 3 creatures, pay 1 blue, draw 2.
Yeah, you do your good blocks. Well, actually, no, you don't even, you block.
Yeah.
Then, in response to, like, the end of combat, you can tap them. And even if they're going to die, you just tap them for a little extra.
Draw 2 cards.
Yep.
I think this card's solid. C tier.
Yep, good card. Moment of truth.
2 mana, instant. Look at the top 3. Put 1 into your hand, 1 into your graveyard, and 1 on the bottom of your library.
Put the top 3, put 1 of those in your hand, 1 on the bottom. Your graveyard, 1 on the bottom of your library. Okay, so it's impulse without proliferate, and graveyard stuff marginally matters.
Marginally matters, yeah.
I only liked playing, not impulse.
Experimental Augury.
I only liked Augury because it proliferated.
Me too. D tier. I think the art's really pretty, but I think it's a D tier.
It might even be art.
It's close to art tier.
It might even be art tier.
I think D is okay for now.
It's an instant. I'll leave it in D.
Yeah, because it's an instant.
If it was a sorcery.
If it was sorcery, it'd be instant, nice art tier.
Oh, negate is back.
Yeah, reprinting negate.
Target non-creature spell. That is the worst one.
It is a sideboard card, at best.
Did you ever run these in your main deck?
In what format?
In Dominaria, that's what this was?
No. I ran Essence Scatter. No.
So, like, then for you, it's really more about, like, how the armor is being turned into this sort of, like,
actually,
cool bone and muscle.
So the story behind this art is Ajani the Planeswalker being healed of his Phyresis and being transformed from a Phyrexian back into his normal self. The art is actually beautiful from a story perspective.
As well as just a visual perspective.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I really like that narrative. Thank you for that. 3 in a blue for Oculus Whelp. It's a 3/2 creature with Phyrexian Dragon flying. As long as you control a transformed permanent, Arcus Wealth has when it dies, draw a card. Transform permanent. So you have to still have that thing.
Go. It's a Phyrexian and it's a flyer.
Okay, so it's a 4/3 flying with some marginal
It's a
upside.
4 mana 3/2 flying with marginal upside.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
It's a 4 mana 3/2 flying with marginal upside. How good is that? Hey, it's gonna activate that battle for you.
Mm-hmm.
Get you the other card that's
It is
2/3.
a flyer, which I like. Blue needed it.
4 mana.
But 4 mana for a 3/2.
You know what this is really
just
embarrassing is next to that, what was that other flyer from Dominaria that was like a 2/3? Wasn't it like 2 mana or 3 mana? Or yeah, like, or there was the rare.
I'm blanking on that.
But, this is embarrassing. I'm sorry. This card sucks. I'm not running this in my deck.
I could see running one as a 23rd card, but not happily. It's G tier for me.
D tier or G?
It's G. It has nice art.
It's
I like dragons.
that
as
is
much as the next guy,
that is embarrassing.
But I will not even as filler. Like, it's technically playable, but that's not a good thing.
It doesn't even make like an incubate creature for you.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah.
The card's rough, man.
Oof. Omen Hawker, 1 blue. Add 1 colorless, 1 blue. Spend this mana only to activate abilities. It's a 1/1 for 1. This does help you transform all of those creatures. Significantly cheaper. I don't think it's great. I think it's situational. But I've seen worse. And you can spend it to transform, because transform is an activated ability.
Oh, so it's basically you can always tap it to just
Transform your
stuff.
incubators.
Okay. That plays.
Yeah,
Okay.
that plays okay. Yeah, see.
Yeah, okay. It'd be kind of like tap pop your clue.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Fine.
fine on a 1/1 that you're just
Yeah.
kind of sitting around doing
Yeah.
nothing. At least
Yeah.
he's doing his work.
Yeah.
He's,
I mean, if
he's,
you use the ability once, it paid for itself and more.
Yeah, okay.
So,
It's a little low value.
I agree.
Actually.
I could see it in D tier. Yeah, no, I think that's fair.
It's just, yeah, like now that I look at it again, I'm just like, well, how much tempo do I realistically need
Yeah.
to pop my value
Incubators.
engine? Yeah, like,
value engine incubators, yeah.
in Constructed, this probably might come up, but I don't know
Yeah.
enough about Constructed
Yeah.
for sure, but
So,
I don't
next,
know.
we have Oracle of Tragedy, 1 and a blue for a 1/3. When it enters the battlefield or dies, choose 1. Loot. Shuffle up to 4 target cards with mana value 3 or greater from your graveyard into your library.
Oh, in your library?
That's
Gross.
brutal.
Yucky.
Ugh.
When it
It's a 2 mana 1/3 that
Loots.
will loot twice.
Okay. Now, this is an interesting question.
Mm-hmm.
Was Axiom Graver a C card, or was it C because it was in red?
In All Will Be One specifically, I mean, Glistener Seer was terrible because it was an 0/3. Axiom Engraver was as good as it was because it was a 1/3. I think Axiom Engraver was fine. If Axiom Engraver was in green or white, do you think you play it?
Yeah,
'Cause
I
if
play
it's,
it.
I play it too.
I'd be fine with it.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
You see across the board? Or are you gonna
It's
get a D?
low C. It's close. I think I'll go C for now.
Yeah, it's fine. It's you know, it
Yeah.
like makes sure that you don't get into mana trouble, or at least helps.
Yep. Order of the Mirror, 1 and a blue for a 2/1, 3 and a Phyrexian white to transform it. It flips into 3/3. Whenever it becomes blocked by a creature, that creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's respectable. Yeah, I like this card.
It's fine.
Pretty good. it's doing. The trades up.
I'm going low C.
That's what I was thinking. I like it.
Yeah.
I like these kinds of like
Yeah.
cards where they're just like pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a ton of mana, and you flip it. And so what do we give that other one? Were we a little too mean to that other one?
No, I think it was fine. We can go back and revisit it when we're done with blue, though.
Preening Champion, 2 and a blue for a 2/2 flying. Okay.
Right.
When Preening Champion enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 elemental creature token.
Now this is a blue-white flyer.
That's a card.
That's a card. I like this one.
I wish it had backup, because that would be really nice with instead of just making the token, it'd be really nice because then like there's lots of other 2/2 flyers. This is now the 3/3 flyer. It's like it like reigns over all the other, swoops over all the other flyers.
But it is also a knight, which is a relevant card, creature type in this format.
In backup specifically.
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
I like this. I'm debating whether or not to put it in B tier.
I'm putting this in B tier
I
as
think
a
it
card.
is going in B tier as a standalone. Yeah.
Like as a standalone. Like now, blue could just be utter garbage, in
Yeah,
which
yeah,
case
yeah.
you know you don't pick this.
Yeah. But if you're playing blue, this is the blue
Like,
common you
this
want.
is like
From
baseline.
what we've seen so
It's
far. This
like-
is what I want to play in blue.
It's almost it's very close to a 3 mana 2/2, a 3 mana 3/3 flying.
Yeah.
It's really a 3 mana 2/2 flying, and the other half doesn't have flying, but
Yeah.
it's. That's fine. That's good.
I think it's very good.
Well, how good is it though? No, this is good. It makes two things. It's good.
Yeah, it's 2 bodies.
Yeah, that's a good card.
Protocol Knight. 3 and a blue for a 3/4. When an ETBs tap target creature an opponent controls, put a stun counter on that creature if you control another knight. Ugh, it doesn't have flash. And that hurts a lot. I mean, 4 mana 3/4 by itself is fine, with marginal upside. But man, I wish this thing had flash.
Stun counter on it.
Only if you control another knight.
So this is like one of the ways that you're pushing through.
I guess. And it's not a very strong way to push through because it's extremely temporary. It leaves you a small window of opportunity.
Okay. I'll give it a D.
It's D. Yeah. This would be much
If it had
better
flash,
if
it'd
it had
be B
flash.
probably.
Yeah, it'd be B tier if it had flash.
But it doesn't, so.
Yep.
Referee Squad, 2 and a blue. Creature Homunculus for a 2/2. Convoke. Why? Okay. Vigilance, it's a 2/2 Vig. When Referee Squad enters the battlefield, tap target creature and opponent and put a stun counter on it.
This is just significantly better than Protocol Knight.
You think so?
It's still not that good because it also doesn't have flash. But
Yeah,
I
okay.
do think it because it always puts a stun counter on it
And it comes in earlier.
and it comes in earlier, I just think it's better.
I don't understand why they keep putting Convoke on these like already kind of cheap cards.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the idea is like in the late game you weave it in with some other stuff.
I guess. I don't know.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't see it, but you know, what do I know?
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Cyber Cryptomancer, 1 and a blue for a 0/1 flash backup 1 with hexproof.
Flash backup 1 hexproof.
It does act as a trick that gives a 1/1 counter to something else and hexproof until end of turn.
Why does it have hexproof? Wait. Oh.
Because backup will give another creature
oh,
hexproof until
okay.
end
So
of
it's like
turn.
a little combat trick that leaves behind a 0.
It's a combat trick that leaves behind a 0/1. I
For
don't
2?
Yeah, for 2 mana.
Yeah, like
Yeah. Oof.
for 2?
Mm.
God, that's so bad.
Yeah.
Again, like Gaia's Gift. This is embarrassing sitting next to Gaia's Gift.
Yep. No, this is embarrassing. Like, I'm sorry. I love the Kamigawa art style, man. But
Yeah, that like the pinks and the
the
cool.
pink and the blue just have
I like the
such a beautiful
electronics, like how they
interplay.
weave that in. So like I don't know. I love that.
No. Skyclave Aerialist, 1 and a blue for a 2/1 flyer, 4 and a green to transform it. flips into a 2/4 flying. When this creature transforms, look at the top card of your library. If it's a land, you can put it on the battlefield. If you don't put the card on the battlefield, put it in your hand. Nice.
Okay.
It's a 2-mana, 2/1 flying by itself with upside. I like this a lot. Yeah, B tier, easy. And it either ramps you or draws you a card when it flips.
That's a strong Magic card. I'll put as many of those as I can get
Yep.
my grubby little hands on.
Exactly. I will take as many
I
of
will
those
run
as I
7
can
of
get.
those and I will be thrilled.
I will be very happy about it, yeah.
That is fun. That's a good card.
Yep.
Finally. Okay, there's some hope.
There are some.
Well, will they hit a critical mass of enough cards? I
Yeah.
can't run only this
They can't
uncommon
run
in my deck.
only the 2 really good flyers.
Stasis Field, 2 mana, 1 and a blue enchantment. Enchant creature, creature has base power type of 0/2, has defender, and loses all their abilities. Commander removal.
It is commander removal.
Yucks. Yucky. This is not bad. This,
Yeah,
I mean,
this
it
is
basically,
fine.
it basically
It's
kills
basically removal, yeah.
it. And importantly, if once the creature dies,
Mhm.
it's gone.
It's gone. Yeah.
That's good.
As far as blue removal gets, that's good.
Beecher?
Yeah, I think in blue it's B tier. In a different color it'd be C tier. Well, in a different color you wouldn't be playing it. But
What?
In blue,
I'd run this in
fine.
every color. I'd run this in green. I'd really super run
well,
this in
green
green.
would run it, but black and red, you have better removal than that usually.
This thing basically kills
But-
it. It's an O2.
It's still
It chumps once or it
it's
doesn't.
still very good.
I think you're crazy. You putting this in C or B?
No, I'm still putting it in bottom of B
Okay,
tier.
okay. I was gonna say you're crazy.
Temporal Cleansing, 3 and a blue sorcery with Convoke. The owner of target non-land permanent puts it into their library, second from the top or on the bottom. This being a sorcery, it's painful.
Gosh, why do they keep doing this? Just let blue have its time in this on.
Just let blue have one slow instant that tempos people out.
The owner of
Like,
the target
ugh.
non puts the library. Second for the top or on bottom. Who gets to choose?
They do.
They
Well,
do?
no, they don't. I think you do. The owner puts it. Yeah, I think you do choose. I could be wrong.
I don't know. That reads to me like they get to choose.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, if they get to choose, it's extra bad. I like how even Reddit is talking about how the art on this card is nice. Because it is. Yeah. Under the assumption that the opponent gets to choose, it definitely.
Now, okay, let's just
nice
say
art.
caveat.
Mhm.
We get to choose. It still sucks.
It still sucks.
Okay. good
It's
talk.
just slightly higher in the good art tier.
Yeah, right. It goes from G to G plus.
Yep.
Maybe in future sets, in the comments, we'll learn whether people prefer to have the sub
Plus and
tiers.
minus, yeah.
But for now, we're not doing it.
You
So.
miss a U in Squadron.
Oh, thank
But
you.
we have Thunderhead Squadron, 5 and a blue, Convoke, 3/4 flyer. It's a knight, it's a human, it's fine.
I am just not seeing this whole Convoke dream. I'm just not putting it. It's just not coming together. I mean, maybe if you have like these shitty ass defenders on your board doing nothing, but that's not where
Blue
you.
has
But
a-
that's where you
bunch
are.
of shitty defenders that do nothing. What else are you gonna use them for?
Defending. Like, oh God. I'm just not seeing it.
In
3/4
a slower
flying isn't even
format,
that
6
good.
mana 3/4 flying it's not good, but
It's
it's not
big.
the worst thing I've ever
It's
seen.
6 mana.
in a slow format, that's not that bad. It's not good, but it's not automatically good art tier.
It dies to the flip of that other thing. It just gets straight up value traded by it. Oh man, the pink wings, so good. Where you want to put this in D? You did try to run this.
I want to put this in the bottom of D tier.
Okay.
I'm not trying to run it, but if I need one, I'll run one.
Well, when my white aggro deck destroys you, and after you convoke this out, and I plane disruption it or whatever, you know, we'll think about this.
I'm not happily running it.
Okay.
I just don't think it's the worst.
I'm not running that. That thing is so stinky. Tidal Terror. This card I already liking because it has lots of numbers on it. 4 and 2 blue for a 5/6. Okay, it's an octopus. Awesome. Whenever Tidal Terror attacks, you may tap 2 other untapped creatures you control. If you do, it cannot be blocked, and it has island cycling. There we go. That is a card I will begrudgingly play.
That is how you can get through.
I will begrudgingly play that, and it pops all the battles in one swing. So essentially,
and it has island cycling if you can't do anything with it.
Basically, you can play this thing, and now you're guaranteed to get your battles done.
Yeah.
So so now we have a plan.
If you have enough blockers, now you have a plan to pop battles either by flying or with this thing.
Yeah, you sit back and you play your stupid BS like defender. You dirtle around. You bounce their stuff.
This is a big dumb idiot in blue.
It resolves not just. It's pretty. I mean, it's a little smart. It can be unblockable.
Yeah, and it's got smart. It's got some upside too. Which,
if you untap with this thing.
If you untap with this thing, it's solid. Yeah, C tier.
Cool.
That's a rare. We'll come back to that one. Wicked Slumber, 3 and a blue, convoke. Instant speed. Tap up to 2 target creatures, put a stun counter on either of them, then put a stun counter on either of them. So you get 2 stun counters to distribute either to one of them or one on each of the 2 creatures that you were to tap, or you can just target one and put 2 stun counters on it.
That's kind of fun. That's like...
It has instant speed and convoke. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah, okay. I'll give it...
I think this card's pretty okay.
Now, in other sets, this card has been bad. But
yes.
They weren't instant speed, were they?
No. They were all sorcery speed.
And you get to choose.
Instant speed, and you get to choose what gets just tapped and what gets stun counters.
And that's important because if they have their big guy and their shitter, you can just put the stun counters on the thing and the shitter.
You can just tap the shitter and put 2 stun counters on the big dude.
And they're creatures only. What are you thinking?
C, maybe?
I am between C and D.
I am too. I'm thinking low C, high D. That's kind of where I stand.
I'm going to put this in D.
Okay.
And here's why. Get on my soapbox. It doesn't remove it.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, this isn't in a control deck. This is in an aggro deck.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
You do not want to be convoke tapping your own aggro cards.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it goes in D.
Mm-hmm.
It's cute. Mm-hmm. It's better than what we've seen in the past.
Yeah.
I do not think it is good.
It might end. Yeah, I could easily see it sliding down to D tier. It's in C, I think, because it's the only instant convoke thing we've seen, and also because you can do it on opponent's end step.
Yeah, like I appreciate the fact that you can encourage wizards to start making these things, but I will run one begrudgingly. I will not. I'm not gonna be like, oh sweet, like okay, like it's not like bread and butter, just good, good card.
Xerax Strobe Knights, 2 and a blue for a 2/2 flying vigilance. Tap it, create a 2/2 white and blue knight. Creature token vigilance. Activate only if you've cast 2 or more spells this turn. 3 mana 2/2 flying vig upside.
That's not that bad to get.
I think it's pretty good actually.
You could do this on their turn.
If you have 2 or more instants to cast, yeah, absolutely.
It's a 2/2 flying with Vig.
It's a 3 mana 2/2 flying Vig, which is pretty good.
I think you're never getting more than one
Yeah.
or maybe two of
Yeah,
these.
I see the other upside is pretty marginal, but 3-mana 2/2 Flying Vigilance is very playable.
And that has vigilance. What do you think?
I'm thinking I would pretty easily be happy playing two of them. I think it's C tier. I don't think it's great, but given that it only has blue only has a few other like really playable flyers from what we've seen.
I just look at this. I mean, it makes minions.
Yeah.
You can cast spells once. It's a 4/4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fine. It gets over the line. If I could
Yeah.
give something at 70.0%, I would give it
Yeah.
this. But,
Oh yeah, definitely.
But man, it gets there for me. Just barely.
We have Zephyr Winder. 1 and a blue for a 2/1 flying. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, untap up to one target creature.
2/1 for 2. When it deals
2/1
damage?
flying for 2 with upside.
And it. Yeah, it kind of like does like a vigilance.
Yep.
Sort of.
Pseudo Vig. I like it.
Hilariously, wait, let me read this other card back again. So the dream
Mm-hmm.
is you play this.
Uh-huh.
You
Play
play
another
like.
spell, you tap that to make a 2/2 and then untap it when Winder
Where'd it
hits.
go? I got lost. Yeah, then you play this, and then next time when this thing somehow, if this thing hits,
Yeah.
you tap it, it untaps.
Mm-hmm.
You tap it again because it's
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can. Yeah.
'Cause
that
it's
does
not-
work. You do
'cause I
get
was-
2/2s. It's not only once each turn.
Exactly,
Yeah,
so it's-
that's nice.
it's kind of funny. Well, I
That's-
mean,
it's cute.
It's funny.
is
It's,
what I mean.
it's more like I'm sure at some point I'm gonna do it and be like, yes, I did it. I
Mhm.
finally,
Mhm.
I made 2 4/4s.
2/2 vigilance.
I made 2 4. Yeah, I made 2 vigilances. I did it.
Mhm.
That's fun. Okay, and they're both a common, or
That's an uncommon, yeah.
Okay, a sad
Yep.
face. It's
Yep.
gonna be a lot harder, but okay, I see.
But
okay,
2/1 flying for 2 with minor upside at common. Yeah, high C tier.
and the thing about this is too is it just it deals with like every other 3-drop flyer.
Yep.
And that honestly already makes it a little bit better to me, but
Mhm.
we'll leave it where it is for now.
Zephyrin Shapecraft. 1 and a blue instant. Target creature is base power and toughness 4/3 until end of turn. Draw a card.
Target creature has base power toughness 4/3 until end of turn. Draw a card. 2-drop. I'm just thinking about I'm just really going in on this Zephyr Winder. I'm like, oh, perfect. So what I'll do is this wouldn't get through. Then I'll play Zephyrin Shapeshifter and I'll bounce.
So you're gonna play a bad card to make your other
Yeah!
card better.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna work. Okay, you get to untap and then it's
Mhm.
you replace you draw the card and that's gonna be the other copy of Zephyrin Shapeshifter,
Mhm.
so that you can also attack with the 2/2.
No. No. This card it cycles for 2 mana, which is a fine enough rate in slower limited formats.
It's
This card
instant
is-
speed and it's trick.
instant speed. It's a trick.
I'll put it
it's
in
in D tier.
It's not quite. It escapes the good
It
art just because of
draw
the
a
dream.
card escapes the G tier, but not by much.
Not by much. Nope.
So that concludes blue.
Okay, so how are you feeling about blue? Is this the one where blue comes back, Nate?
All blue has is defenders and flyers.
I mean, is that all blue needs?
I don't know.
Let's see. What were the cards?
I mean, blue in a slower format, control blue will definitely be a thing. It's got lots of card draw, flyers, evasive creatures. It's got access to lots of early game blockers
Where's
and
my
bounce
card?
spells and counters, situational counters, but counters, at least one counter that's very playable.
Where's my card, Nate? Help me
All the way
find
at
it.
the top.
All the way at the top?
It-
Here it
that
is.
one.
Here it is. Let's talk about corruption of Talashi. Now that we've seen.
Mhm.
Has your opinion changed on this card?
No, because blue doesn't have a lot of incubate.
It doesn't.
That's the problem. If blue had incubate, then yeah, absolutely, it would be B tier for me. But it doesn't, and so you're really dependent on
Your second color.
Second color. And that hurts a lot. I want you to be good. I really want you to be good. Corruption of Tawashi.
Whenever a permanent you control transforms, that's kind of conditional too.
It is, yeah. Yeah.
I want it to be good.
I do too.
So badly.
I do too.
But my heart is telling me that it belongs in C tier.
Yeah.
I want to believe in Corruption of Tawashi, but it is a 5-mana enchantment that does nothing when it enters the battlefield.
Yep.
And yeah, if it gets rolling, you win.
In the right deck, yeah, you win.
You win, but
you win.
If it gets rolling.
But yeah, that's a significant if statement.
Oh man, poor Tower of Tawashi, Corruption of Tawashi. I wanted you to be good so bad, so beautiful.
Yeah.
The other things we agreed on.
That'll be one of my meme dream decks. Is
absolutely. It's like make a Corruption Tawashi work, and it's gonna be in paper because that's the only place you're gonna get away with it.
Absolutely.
Looks like we didn't really have any where we
not any major disagreements.
And if they were like, is this card completely unplayable or marginally unplayable?
Yeah, pretty much.
Which is not super interesting. So as a color, the blue is not. This is another set where blue is just.
I mean, how many blue cards do we have at B3?
We have
2 of them are at common. Aerialist, I think, is a common.
Skyclave Aerialist. Which one is that one?
That one.
It's uncommon.
Oh, it's an uncommon. Oof, that hurts. But Preening Champion is
Stasis
common.
Field was that uncommon or common?
Stasis Field's a common, I think.
Okay. Then Preening Champion, I believe, is also.
Yeah, Preening Champion is a common.
Yeah, because I'll run 1,000,000 of these.
Yeah, I will run as many Preening Champions as I can get my grubby little hands on.
Yeah, exactly. And then the Stasis Field, that's that makes something in like an 01.
Into an 02 with Defender, yeah. I think blue will be better than it is in all will be one. I don't think blue is overpoweringly strong though, by any stretch of the imagination. It still might be a little weak, but I think it'll fare a lot better in Copium. In a slower format like this, I think it will fare a lot better than it has in previous formats.
I think so too, and I think it may not be like the thing where it's the mono blue deck, but it seems like there's just enough blue cards that you're going to get pulled into the archetype, and that's kind of what blue usually plays like, I feel like, in Limited.
Yeah. I just want blue and black to be, like, playably good. That's all I want for this format.
And blue,
so
blue did end up being playably good.
Yeah, blue will be playably good.
Last set, black was pretty oof.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, hopefully, surely they can't mess it up again.
Yeah.
Surely.
All right. It's time for black.
Yeah, I'll let you lead us off.
First things first, yeah, we have Aether Blade Agents. 1 in a black for a 1/1 Death Touch. 4 in a Phyrexian blue to transform it. Activate only at sorcery speed. Transforms into a 3/3 with Death Touch, and whenever it deals combat damage to a player or battle, draw a card.
Okay, I'm still typing, so you're gonna have to carry a little bit here.
2 mana 1/1 Death Touch is not ideal. However, the upside is significant and the backside is very nice. Like, drawing a card on hitting a player or a battle is very significant upside. And 3/3 Death Touch is not something to scoff at. I don't think it's particularly strong because it's a 2 mana 1/1 Death Touch, which is never that good. If this was 1 mana, this would be really, really nice. But at 2 mana,
It's 2 mana 1/1. Yeah, I mean, it's like somewhere between D and C.
I agree. It's high D, low C for me too.
Like, how It's a 3/3 with Death Touch, and
Yeah,
you draw a
3/3
card that
Death
goes
Touch
down.
and-
So they either have to trade off of it.
Yep. I mean, really, beginning of the game, it sits back on the defense and trades up. And if it lives the late game, then they have to deal with this actual threat.
Or it's just a card.
Yeah.
I wish I could just click. I might give this a C.
I think I'll put it in low C or C tier.
Usually these like little Death Touch shitters aren't that good.
Yeah.
But this
Because
is just,
it turns into like having such a nice effect.
like
Yeah.
it's just not that hard.
Yeah.
To make this thing. There's gonna be board states where this thing connects, and
and it's a significant upside.
it's a big problem because it doesn't just go away; it just keeps doing it.
Yeah.
That's fine.
And that's a lot of value.
Yeah.
Rare into rare.
Bladed.
Battle Fan. 1 in a black. Artifact equipment with flash. When an ETB is attached to target creature you control, that creature gains indestructible until end of turn. Equip creature gets +1/+0 with equip cost of 1. I mean, it's cute.
I love the purple,
Mhm.
contrasting like the black with the red in
Mhm.
the background.
The like bones with the purple contrasting. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Definitely. I don't have much more to say. Blight Reaper Thallid, 1 in a black for a 2/2 fungus. Pay 3 and a Phyrexian green to transform it. At sorcery speed, it becomes a 3/3 that when it transforms or dies, create a 1/1 green Phyrexian Saproling creature token.
It's a 5/5 when it transforms, basically for 3.
Yeah.
I mean, baseline you're paying.
Baseline, it's a bear with upside that
2.
next turn you take your whole turn and 2 life to turn it into a 3/3 and a 1/1, and that gets us another 1/1 on death.
Solid.
Yeah, solid.
It's not like disgustingly over the top or anything.
No.
It's good.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'm down with that. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Collective Nightmare, 2 and a black, instant speed with Convoke. Target creature gets -3/-3 until end of turn.
It's just 3 mana baseline. What is this Convoke thing? Am I just not seeing the light, Nate, with this Convoke thing?
This actually isn't that bad. Convoke makes this significantly more okay.
Because you can do it instant speed.
Yes, because you can do it on opponent's end step
on
or after
blocks.
blocks or on blocks.
Yeah. Okay. You can
It's
do it.
not great.
It's
No.
a C or D.
I think it's bottom of C tier. I think it's fine. Removal.
It's like a trick and it's removal, which is really
Yeah.
where you want your tricks to be. And it's instant
Yeah.
speed, so
Yep.
that's what makes it fair.
Instant speed. If this was sorcery speed, it would be terrible. Like, horrible.
What would this have to cost for you to put it in B? 1?
Yeah, it would have to be 2 mana with Convoke, or one black. Target creature gets -3/-3 till end of turn. That would be instant B tier minimum.
Okay. Yep, I agree. Because when there's just other cards floating around like Planar Disruption, you just gotta
Yeah.
take it in that.
Yep.
Okay, Completed Hunt Master.
2
2 and a black for a 2/3. You can pay 1 and tap it to sacrifice another creature artifact and incubate 3.
3 mana, 2/3.
See, white. This is what Tower needs. Is We
Mhm.
need about 10 of these things.
And a bunch of shitter defenders.
It's
to
a
sack.
2/3 that you can pay 3 to make another 3/3.
You can pay 3 and sack another creature or artifact.
Oh,
Yeah. That's a significant downside.
okay, I see. For me, these kinds of cards that I'm like working, I like have to. Because there's cards where it's just like, oh, I immediately see how this is good. And then there are cards like this where I think like, okay, well, if this was the board state and then I did this, like maybe it could be.
Yeah. I think about this is if there is a sacrifice themed deck, like if red black sack is a real thing in this format, it'll be quite solid in that deck.
Yep.
By itself, fringe playable.
Yeah, it's just a little embarrassing. If it was just the first ability, like, oh, sweet. Like,
Yep.
okay.
If you didn't have to sack something, it would be very strong.
In fact, when I think about it that way, the Sarah just sits back and just upgrades all your like, for very expensively upgrades your shitters into slightly less shitty shitters.
Yeah, yeah, and they're all artifacts, which opens the door to additional removal as well.
Yeah,
So
but
it's a slight upgrade. It's an expensive slight upgrade.
I don't know. The more we talk about this, the more I'm thinking this might be just cause maybe it's just because I'm being blue washed into thinking that every card is good because it's not those cards, but.
I think D tier is fine for now. If there's no red black sack deck in this format, then I will have to revise it to lower its rating significantly.
I was thinking this might even push into C for me.
If there is a real sack deck in this format, I can see it pushing into C. Yeah, absolutely. But by itself, I think D tier splits the difference.
Seems like 3/3 is like the stat line that's like starting to get kind of like big in this chonky,
Yeah.
and then like if you have 4 health, you're kind of like
I think 4 health might be the magic number in this format,
which is pretty common because it looks like a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Next.
Assuming Aetherborn, 3 in a black for 2/2. Not off to a good start. As backup 1. Okay, so 3/3 with lifelink.
So it's a 4 mana 3/3 lifelink.
Let me give something else.
For a turn.
The black really contrasts.
Man.
The white.
Oof.
It's a 2/2.
The contrast is so nice.
There's a 2/1 in freaking
Aldo
does
Dominguez.
this.
Man, props to Aldo Dominguez for this art. It's nice.
Man, that's rough.
I'm really sad that your beautiful art got wasted on a bad card.
Alright, Corrupted Conviction. It is a 1 black instant. Sacrifice a creature, draw 2 cards.
I'm putting that in Taces as soon as I get one.
Yeah,
That's Commander. That's a different format.
Yeah, I mean,
hey, if the sack deck is a thing, this will be fine. It's an instant. Like, you leave 1 black open, you have a creature that's gonna get eaten by your opponent's creature. Oh, I sack it and draw 2 cards.
yeah, and there's like lots of little cute stuff you
there's
can do. Like, oh, they're playing like removal against it. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll sack it. Or
Yeah.
I'll run these.
I'll run them, yeah. They're fine.
Think C or
Yeah, I think C is fine.
D or-
Deadly Derision. 2 black, destroy target creature or planeswalker, create a treasure token. There was a card very similar to this in Dominator United that was really, really strong.
Yeah, the fact that you get a treasure token and it comes in untapped.
Yep.
So it kind of.
It kind of is 1 black, destroy target creature, planeswalker at instant speed.
That's good.
That's very good.
Good enough to put it in D?
In a slower format, taking a little bit of a callback to Dominator United as a format in his lower format, I do think this is B tier. In a format like All Will Be One, no. But in a format like Dominator United, yeah. This is probably the best common removal black is going to get in this format for big stuff.
Okay. I'll give you B. I'm going to stick with C. It's just a little too much mana for my liking. I don't like that you have to wait till turn 4 before you can cast it and get your mana back.
Sure.
And it's a long time before that. And then it's not until 5, basically, that you're starting to see the benefit of that.
Sure.
But so for that reason, I'm out. No, I'm just kidding. But I think it's still going to be really solid because a lot of times you're not going to, as long as you're not dying, you're casting it, speed removing it stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely the bottom side of B tier for me relative to everything else. But
I think that's where I'm going to stay with it.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, Dredge Recycler. 1 in a black for a 2/2. You can tap it to sacrifice an artifact or creature. Each one lose 1 life and you gain 1
Okay,
life.
the sack deck is going to be a real thing in this format.
Are you sure?
Not with this card, but I'm saying with all the support they have for sacrificing.
Like,
this is the third
is this
sacrifice.
the card
No, this is not a
to
card.
get you over the line?
No, but this is the third sack effect that we're seeing this early into black, which means black sacrifice is going to be an archetype. At least that's what I'm seeing.
Yeah, but
it's a bear with minor upside.
this is I'm gonna trust and this might be the biggest mistake of my life. I'm gonna trust in Wizards on this one and give it a D.
That's where I stand too.
But man,
Man. Etched Familiar, 2 and a black, 3/2. When it dies, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. It's sack fodder.
it's a 3/2.
It's a 3/2 for 3. That's sack fodder.
I have to think back. Did I ever run that red 3, that black, like, what was that? Was it red, the 3/2 in 1? The red, that 3/2, that, in for 3? That got the
one
oil
that got
counters?
unblockable. Did
Did I
either
ever
of us
actually-
ever actually run that card? I didn't.
I didn't.
I hate that card. I think this card will have fringe playability in the sack deck specifically. It's not D tier by itself. The red eyes, man, they're pretty.
Okay.
By
okay.
itself.
No. You started, I was like, oh, wow.
No, it will
interesting.
have fringe playability in the one specific deck. That's it.
Etched Host Doom. It's a big, long name. All right.
4 and a black for a 3/5 Phyrexian Demon. When an ETB is choose 1. Target opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Choose target battle. If an opponent protects it, remove 3 defense counters from it. Otherwise, put 3 defense counters on it. That's funny.
I mean, okay, so here's how I think this is supposed to work.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, you choose something that you can kill on board.
Yep.
If you swing at it.
Yep.
And then your opponent gets to choose if they want to, like, block your creatures and have the battle die, or if they want to not block your creatures and the battle still actually. So does this?
This is a way to finish off a battle.
Does it?
Or protect a battle that is really valuable.
Question. Okay, so this will have to be our last one.
Yep.
But question: does this put the counters on before it gets hit by your minions that are swinging at it?
You can't play this at instant speed, so you would have to do this second main either after your minions hit it, or do this first, like second main on your turn to protect it.
So you play it first main.
Yeah.
If they protect it, how does that work?
If an opponent protects it, basically just means that if it's a battle that you put into play, because when you put a battle into play, your opponent protects that battle, and you protect the battles that your opponents control.
Oh. So it's like if it's on your side, if it's like the one that they played, you get to add to it.
Yes.
So it's upside either way.
Yes.
So you can
That's
either
correct.
make yours tankier. Okay, I was totally misunderstanding the card.
Yeah, it's a way to finish off theirs without needing to.
Oh, I
attack
completely misunderstood how that works.
Yeah.
It's a 3/5.
It's a 5-mana 3/5 marginal upside.
Well, this is indeed. I might play it.
Yep, I might play one.
Okay. And that'll end it for session 2 of our mom review. Thank you for watching. If you have any comments, please smash that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys for more Black later on.